Petri dish, the Petri dish, the Petri dish.
This is
The Petri dish, the Petri dish, the Petri dish. This is the Petri dish. There's something growing in here, and today the thing that's growing is fucking Jonathan's style. Look at that shirt. Hell yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Look at that. He's got a collar on and everything. We're getting
Yeah.
fancy up in this bitch. Meanwhile, I am covered in cat hair.
Nice.
On brand. On brand.
Nice.
Shit, man, what you been up to? You have a good Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, I really did. I went to a mountains house with friends of mine, and we stayed up all night playing board games. Very PG. Nothing.
I love a good PG night. I had
Yeah.
several of those this weekend. I actually just
Cool.
got back from a little pool party I was having at one of Alicia's coworkers' houses. And it was
Okay.
just like they cooked a bunch of tri-tip and like had a whole bunch of food out.
Nice.
And like no one else except for us really showed up, but like it was chill because we were like, we're just here for food and to hang out because we weren't gonna be doing shit otherwise. So like
Yeah.
they put up
Yeah.
some Star Trek on their big jumbo screen they have next to their pool, and then we just had a little pool party and watched Star Trek and ate some good fucking
Cool.
food.
That sounds great.
Yeah, and then earlier this weekend we had a PowerPoint presentation party
Okay.
where everyone prepared like a 5 to 10 minute PowerPoint presentation on just fucking anything, and you just show up and you
Okay.
present. We all like brought something. It was a potluck, so we all brought a food and did a presentation. That
Okay.
was fucking dope as fuck. I did.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, what
think
did you do?
I did. Probably the most controversial one because it
Okay.
was backed up by zero facts. But it was why Blink-182 is better than the Beatles.
Oh, God. Okay, Bobby, why is Blink-182 better than the Beatles?
Honestly, we could get into it. We could get into it right
Yeah.
now. I could run you through really quick why Blink-182 is better than the Beatles. Let's
Okay,
do
yeah.
this. Jonathan. The Beatles. Right?
Yes,
Oh,
the
boy.
Beatles.
A
The
classic.
Beatles. Yes.
Some would say the greatest of all time. Well, they're
Some-
fucking wrong.
Yeah, they are.
You know why? Paul
'Cause the
McCartney's been
Rolling
alive too
Stones.
long. Ringo's a fucking idiot. George Harrison, the only good one, smoked himself to death in the 90s. And John Lennon beat his wife and sucked as a dad.
Oh, I was just gonna say the Rolling Stones are better.
I would argue that the Rolling Stones were just the Green Day of the era,
Oh.
which you could argue is better or worse. But I would argue that Blink-182 is better than the Beatles.
Okay.
Here's why. For the sake of fairness, we're not going to consider Ringo. No Ringo. We're going to start with the bassist, Mark Hoppus,
Yeah.
old as hell. Paul McCartney, old as hell. But Mark Hoppus wrote Damn It. Paul McCartney wrote Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time, the worst Christmas song ever created. Mark Hoppus featured on a Newfound Glory track, and Paul McCartney featured on a Michael Jackson soundtrack or a track, and that track is Michael Jackson hitting on his sister with Paul McCartney, and that's pretty fucked up.
Ooh. Yeah.
Pretty fucked up, guys.
Yeah.
Now we got to dive into the side projects of both. Plus 44 versus Wings. Plus 44 had Travis Barker, had one good album, and then never did anything ever again.
Okay.
Wings had 10 albums, all garbage.
All
No one
garbage,
likes any of
yes.
them. Terrible idea.
Yes.
Don't ever listen
Yeah,
to it.
Wings is garbage. Yeah.
And then we're going to go into the archetype of the crazy one. Each band has a crazy one. For Blink-182, it's Tom DeLonge, and for the Beatles, it's John Lennon. Now, the features of this is they're creative. They write the most songs. They're the essential soul of the band, and they also frequently have substance abuse problems. Now, the
Okay.
negatives for both is Tom is divorced, and that bad divorce led to him quitting the band for the second time, so he already quit the band twice. And then he also went on Joe Rogan to talk about aliens and made himself look dumb as hell. So those are all some pretty big negatives. But John Lennon beat his wife and neglected his son. Pretty terrible. Did a bunch of heroin, like a bunch. And then also Yoko Ono. So, ugh.
Okay, yeah.
And then we have the artist, the one who can do no wrong. For Blink-182, it's Travis Barker. For the Beatles, it's George Harrison. So with the artist, you know, everyone loves them. They're the best. They're the thing that makes this more than just some guys writing songs. They're like, they make it the band that it is, you know, the heart that it
Okay.
has.
Okay.
So it's hard to have negatives for either of them. So I really just have to start apologizing. For Travis Barker, we're sorry about Machine Gun Kelly. Pretty much from anything from 2016 on that Machine Gun Kelly did, that's Travis Barker's fault, and that's our bad.
Oh, oh,
But the
yeah,
positives, there's things like Here Comes the Sun on George Harrison's side. That's an all-time banger.
yeah.
And then I would argue that Travis Barker's plane crash absolves him of all Machine Gun Kelly sins.
Oh,
He survived
oh,
that plane crash like a champion.
okay.
And you know who didn't survive? George Harrison. Smoking kills, guys. Smoking kills. Now we don't have one of these beautiful people thanks to smoking, and
Yeah.
you can't apologize for that. What you can't apologize for is this terrible plane crash that Travis Barker was in. He survived that. The only one to
Wow.
survive it now after his friend DJ AM took his own life in tragic circumstances. So again,
Wow.
sure, Machine Gun Kelly sucks, but Travis Barker's smoking it to the filter, metaphorically.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
refuse to acknowledge live performance. One, because I've never seen Blink-182 live, so I can't say whether or not they're good. And also, I've never seen the Beatles live, and I never will, so we can't compare live performance. Okay, moving on. They got dumb voices. They got dumb British voices. They're dumb monotone British voices. They made a bad cartoon, and we have Ringo in there, who we're not considering, so no Ringo. But Blink-182 also has some dumb voices. But those voices are Californian, which is cool as fuck. And those dumb voices were on The Simpsons, way cooler than any Beatles cartoon ever made. And they were only on one episode of Simpsons, not Gauche and creating loads of Blink-182 Simpsons content. One episode. And then they created an entire genre basically with it. You know, every band sounded like Blink-182 for a time. And I would say that's admirable. Here we get into the essential friendship of the band. John and Paul in the Beatles, and Mark and Tom in Blink-182. Now, I would say you always need a good bromance in any band. You know, you need to have this brotherhood inside the band to make people be like, I want to have brothers like that too. The problem with the Beatles is they whacked it with each other weird style. Now, that's important because you shouldn't whack it weird style with your friends. Don't do it. And then also, people say they're best friends, but they broke up at 27 and never talked to each other ever again. So were they really? Were they really best friends? Whereas Mark and Tom, Mark jumped off a street lamp to begin their friendship, cracking both of his heels and ending up in a cast for months. They never jerked it together weird style. Instead, they skateboarded. Skateboard instead of jerking it.
Okay.
And then also they broke up twice, but decided to be together forever after Mark Hoppus's cancer diagnosis a couple years ago. And now he's got a clean bill of health. So we're going to skip all of the analyses because I don't want to deep dive on everybody on the podcast. This is premium content. But we do consider Ringo in the extended Blink-182 universe at one point. And then we do talk about how the drummer has to be hot. But in conclusion, Blink-182 is better than the Beatles because none of them have ever beat their wife that I know of. They got back together after they broke up. They absolutely refused to die, unlike some Beatles.
Yeah.
They never whacked it weird style. And the drummer's hot. So thank you. That is why Blink-182 is better than the Beatles. Thank you for being interested in the topic, Jonathan.
You're welcome. And also, I would like to ask, is whacking it weird style an off-menu style of food at In-N-Out?
Yes, it is. Yeah, go to any In-N-Out and say, hey, could you whack my burger off weird style? They'll know what you mean. Insist they know what you mean and then refuse to pay until they make it for you.
Okay.
Shit, man. So that's what I've been doing. I've been getting into
Hell
deep
yeah.
dives of Blink-182, making presentations,
Nice.
doing stuff,
Nice.
living life.
Yeah.
How was your
Cool.
week? Anything
It
cool?
was, well, yeah, I mean, my weekend was great.
Nice.
The week was pretty standard. I went to Meals on Wheels and did my writing classes.
Hell yeah.
Wrote some good stuff in my writing classes. I think, I'm not certain about that by any means.
Hey,
but
if it's a first draft, it's never good. So you just keep on working at
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's first draft. Yeah.
That happens.
Oh,
Most of the things I
yeah.
write are first drafts, so I really got to get better at the whole second draft part.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I spent like 2.5 hours in a car today, and that was pretty chill. Honestly, we had a nice ride. We ended up listening to Wait Wait Don't Tell Me on NPR.
Nice. I used to love that show.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty good. Um,
I always love a good weird quiz.
yeah, I I didn't drink any coffee today,
Ooh,
so I might be a little down on
we're getting
energy.
unfiltered Jonathan now, where
Yeah,
he's substance free in every form.
yes,
Oh,
yes. And that's
that's why
but
he's
we
got the
got
pure on. He's
yeah,
got the linens. He's breezy today.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
breezing through this podcast right into
yeah,
your brain waves.
yeah, yeah,
Give him the good
yeah.
mathematics, Jonathan.
But I don't know if I showed you Bobby or Buddy. Sorry, Bobby. My bad. But this is Buddy, the bonsai.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, and I got my mom a flamingo
A
on
real flamingo? Oh, okay, good.
no, a pressed flower flamingo at a farmer's market in North Carolina. She's gonna
Adorable.
dig that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm glad you didn't buy her a real flamingo on the dark web. Like, I just sent it to her address. I hope it's cool.
Yeah.
That's
No.
old Jonathan activities.
That's okay, yes. And also I was like, the last time I went to a zoo, there was a big flamingo exhibit, and they smelled really bad. So I was calling the pink flamingos for a period of time a pink-necked shitbird because that's what they smelled like.
Pink neck shitbird sounds like something you would have called yourself.
Well, what was it? Was I saying? Was I saying it about flamingos, or was I saying it about myself?
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
just projecting on those flamingos. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh fuck. Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of weird quizzes, Jonathan, you know what I have more of for you?
Man versus bear.
It's some more man or bear. Here we go. Jonathan, was a member of a beloved man or bear family hit and killed in Wyoming's Grand Teton National Park?
I gotta go with man.
You think it was manslaughter? You think it was a hit and run in the Tetons? Luckily, this was a bear. Well,
Oh,
not
this is.
luckily. It is very sad that
Oh
a famed
shoot!
bear was killed, but a member of a beloved grizzly bear family was hit and killed. And
Wow.
that's true
Okay.
sadness.
Yeah, and that
No
comes
points
as a
yet.
total.
That's
No
tough.
points.
Jonathan, let's try this one. Israel's latest strikes in Gaza killed 38 men or bears, including children.
Men.
Oh, yeah, that one, unfortunately, it was. Israel's latest strikes in Gaza did kill 38 people, including children. It was not bears.
Yeah.
It's just indiscriminate bombing.
Yeah.
All right. Jonathan, a federal judge ordered the Trump administration, to return a man or bear that they deported to Mexico.
A man.
It was actually, yes, it was a Guatemalan man that they deported to Mexico. Unfortunately, Trump's not dumb enough to deport a bear instead of a person. But
Yet,
I would
that
much
we know
rather
of.
have had that headline be like,
Yeah.
Trump deported a bear to Mexico, and now he's fucking up the airport.
Yeah.
Jonathan,
Yeah.
did Florida give preliminary approval to a controversial black man or bear hunt amid strong opposition? You don't want to step in it, do you?
Oh yeah, it's got to be a manhunt.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was bears, Jonathan.
Oh shoot, it was a bear hunt.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Wow.
okay. it was for black bears. I'm not saying that we should hunt black people. I'm saying I wouldn't put it past Florida to pass legislation being like, we're allowed to hunt black men.
Exactly.
You know how it goes.
Yes.
But no, it's a black bear hunt. which
Okay.
is I'm glad that there was strong opposition either way, but
Yeah.
it is unfortunate that it was approved. All right,
Okay.
one more, Jonathan. Let's see.
Okay.
Was it a man or bear that set sail with his cat and arrived in Hawaii recently to cheering fans?
It's gotta be a man.
Yeah, it was a guy in Oregon who quit his job
Okay.
to go to go surfing with his cat or sailing.
Okay. Okay. Oh
Quit his
wow.
job. He's like, I'm gonna go sailing to Hawaii with my cat, and everyone was just like,
Yeah.
"We'll give you some money for it." And he was like, "You will." So he arrived
Yeah.
to Hawaii, and everyone was just like, "Hey, he made it!" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm living my dream." So a nice
Yeah.
light one for you after that barrage of darkness.
Yeah. There. That. Yeah.
You did good,
That,
Jonathan.
thank you.
You just stayed right
Yeah.
on course. You did great.
Yeah.
But oh boy, that was the
Yeah.
latest man or bear for you.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
some dark ones in
yeah,
there.
strangely enough, the news not so fun lately.
Yeah.
And I go looking
That.
for stories. Even the bears are getting murdered. I'm just like, fuck,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
That's bad
shit.
news. Yeah.
That's about all I got for this week. You got any more cool things you've been chilling on?
No. I.
Yeah,
No.
I was just looking forward to this fucking 3-day weekend. So I feel you,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That's why I
Fair
figured
enough.
I did get some slick shit for us to look at real quick. But yeah,
Okay.
we don't gotta milk it, guys. This has been the Petri Dish. We fucking proved to you, bro.
Yeah. That space is real.
It's real.